pro football, America's ever-changing autumn spectacle. A game where winning formulas are redefined with each new season. One thing, however, never changes. Year after year, the game's most exciting plays are those where running backs defy all odds to advance the football. A runner need not be one of the best ever to exhibit greatness. For after all, greatness is no more than the unconquerable desire to score a touchdown. Ever since the days of the old flying wedge, running backs have been the game's most colorful and exciting performers. Of all the great old-timers, the best was Chicago Bear Hall of Famer Red Grange. Grange was the first big-name college star to turn professional, and his magnetic presence filled stadiums nationwide and turned America on to pro football. The Galloping Ghost, a man bigger than the game itself. By the 1950s, top running backs were in such great demand that the LA Rams traded the Chicago Cardinals 10 players, nearly half their roster, for number 33, Ollie Matson. Ram officials labeled the trade a steal. And then there was the King. As an 11-year-old boy, he stepped on a broken bottle and severed all the tendons in his right foot. Doctors said he would never walk again. His name, Hugh McElhenny. Through the first 4 decades of pro football, no running back ran with more style and grace. Number 14, Hall of Fame quarterback Y.A. Tittle remembers his teammate well.
Hugh McElhenny was the most colorful runner I think that has ever played the game, and maybe the best. I'm not positive about that. His breakaway talents were unparalleled. He was a very shifty runner. He had not the greatest speed, but he had outstanding speed. And when he would cross the line of scrimmage, actually everyone came to the feet because McElhenny was capable of going for a touchdown every time.
He ran like a raw recruit at boot camp, trying to survive the obstacle course. Fittingly, this colorful style had its origins in a fearful childhood dilemma.
When I was a little kid, my mother used to send me to the store at night, and I used to have to walk down this alley. And at the end of the alley, where the grocery store was, there was a light. But through that whole alley, it was dark. And I used to be scared to go down this alley, and I used to run it. And, of course, going through the alley during the day, I knew where possibly somebody might be hiding. I used to run through there and just stay away from those dangerous areas. And that's kind of the way I ran with the football. It was a feeling of fright.
Hugh McElhenney ran scared for 13 professional seasons, and he always got the groceries home to Mama. At age 34, in his final professional season, Hugh McElhenney was still the king. The big back, the bull, a runner whose only broken field move is to lower his head. His logic is as simple as his style. If I can't run around them, I'll carry them with me. They are the Bulls. They pick up the drive-sustaining first downs. They score the game-clinching touchdowns. And most importantly, they have formed the foundation for many a championship team. Vince Lombardi knew that big backs bring titles. Jim Taylor helped the Packers to 5. Don Shula's Dolphins had a perfect season, and Larry Zonka was the perfect fullback. Chuck Noll won 4 Super Bowls, with swift Franco Harris leading the charge. Jim Taylor truly epitomized the classic fullback. Number 31 rode the heels of the Packer sweep all the way to the Hall of Fame in Canton, Ohio, where he was enshrined as the 4th leading rusher of all time. A few years later, a big fella named Larry Zonka joined the Dolphins. 11 years and 6,700 yards later, Miami had won back-to-back world titles, and Zonka was the driving force. But the toughest clutch fullback was Franco Harris, the NFL's 3rd leading all-time rusher, and considered by many to be the greatest money back ever to play. In 1978, a new big back exploded onto the scene.
Pitch back goes to Earl Campbell. Breaks a tackle at the 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. At the 50, he may go. At the 30, at the 20, at the 10, at the 5, touchdown!
In his first 3 pro seasons, Earl Campbell won 3 straight rushing titles, a feat previously accomplished by only one other man, the great Jim Brown. For 4 seasons, Campbell was so dominant that in a poll of NFL coaches, he was voted the one player, regardless of position, they'd most like to have. Earl Campbell, at his best, perhaps the most potent big man ever to run with a football. That claim is being challenged by a man who has shattered all the rules and established his own. Eric Dickerson, at 6'3", 225 pounds, has the body of a bull and the stride of a thoroughbred. Dickerson is a world-class sprinter, and in 1984, in only his second pro season, he ran for over 2,100 yards, the greatest single-season rushing total in NFL history.
He runs a 4.3 40. For a big guy, he's one of the quickest guys I've ever seen in my life. When he runs, he looks like he's not running fast, but he can hit an opening. He can hit a hole so quick, it's unreal.
Dickerson the call, big hole, 30, 25, he's gone. Touchdown Rams. Eric Dickerson right up the middle.
You're looking at the great one, the Walter Payton, the Earl Campbells, the Jim Brown. And Eric Dickerson, you have one that is in that upper echelon that only come along very seldom. And when you do have one, you catch lightning in a jug.
Dickerson has changed pro football's conventional wisdom. Defenses have never before faced the pressure that this big back brings to bear.
Okay, opens 4 right, 41 dive forward on 2. Ready? Go.
Each Sunday, a new series of ordeals awaits the running back. For an instant, he blocks out all sound. He stares into the eyes of his pursuers, and something of himself is revealed. He realizes the next snap of the ball could be his last.
Set, left, 315, split left, 315.
The average length of a runner's career is a little more than 4 years. His is a world of tape, whirlpools, disabled lists, and doubt. In order for a runner to survive, he must summon up all that is within him. Such a man once played for the Chicago Bears.